NRL Vid090 back in another video today. This is Mike Cornelis, Sutherland Sharks NRL 2020 season review. So yeah, it's my fourth one. Hopefully you've been enjoying these reviews so far. Hopefully you can, well, if you haven't seen my previous three reviews of the Broncos, Raiders, and the Bulldogs, I suggest you go and check them out. But yeah, look, before I get into my Sharks review for 2020, I just want to give two shout-outs. One goes to Zentoro110, and the other one goes to Constant Beats. And yeah, so let's get into the Sharks 2020 NRL season review. So, yeah, look, the Sharks they had an alright season, I thought. I thought that the Sharks didn't do too bad, in my opinion. The thing about Sharks is that they're very inconsistent. Like, they can score about, on their day, they can score about 40 points, even 50 if they're good enough. And then when they're off, they concede about 40 or concede about 30. That's how much they concede, you know? Because I remember that one game this year, they played Manly and they won 44 points to 22. And then they play the Panthers the next week at Jubilee Oval, and then like they lost to the Panthers. Like, I think the score was like 56 points to 20 or something. So yeah, they're very inconsistent, the Sharks. They can score points, but then they can leak a lot of points. The Sharks. That's the problem about them. Obviously, their defense isn't good enough. Their attack's pretty much pretty good, but yeah, their defense is a bit questionable as well. So, um, but I thought the Sharks had some good young players coming through this year. I thought guys like Jack Williams really stood up for the Sharks. I thought Connor Tracy did alright at times when filling for Chad Townsend, whether he was suspended or injured, or Johnson when he was injured. I thought Connor Tracy stepped up in those roles. Ronaldo Mulatalo and Sione Katoa, both great young wingers, and I think that should be the Sharks winger combination in the future for sure. And yeah, and even Sosifa Talakai, who's in that young, but he's really established himself. Like, he's never been. I don't think he's ever been that. Like, I don't think many people know him that much, but now they probably do, because now Sasifa Talaka has really established himself as a player. He's always been that sort of reserve grade player, but he's really shocked me this year and a lot of others as well. But it's good to see. Yeah, look, the Sharks came about eighth. Yeah, they came eighth this year, the Sharks, and they went out the first week losing to the Raiders. 36 points to 20, I'm pretty sure the score was. Sorry if I got it wrong, but I think it was one of those score lines. But yeah, look, I think that the Sharks were probably the worst top 8 team this year. They're pretty much lucky to get there, because all the other teams were, coming, but they weren't good enough, I guess, like the Sharks. So, yeah, I don't know. The Sharks are a very up and down season. They're rocks and diamonds, the Sharks. You put it that in that way, like they were rocks and diamonds during the Sharks. So, yeah, look, they do alright, but then they're just the inconsistency that's still there. And I think John Morris has to get under that. You have to investigate the inconsistency of the Sharks. Let's get to the bottom of it. But yeah, they're a good team with experience and youth. But they've got they're very inconsistent, the Sharks, and they can be a great team one day, the next day they can be really, really bad. So it's something they have to fix there with the inconsistency. But they're a solid side overall, the Sharks. But yeah, my star player of the year for the Sharks goes to Shaun Johnson, and I think that it's pretty clear that Shaun Johnson is the star player of the year for the Sharks, because he's just done so well. He's been very instrumental. I think he's got the most try assists this year in the NRL, with about like 24 something try assists, I think, or more, something like that. But even guys like Sione Katoa come close, and Wade Graham, because they're always pretty consistent for the Sharks, and yeah, but I think Shaun Johnson gets it by far, to be honest, because he's been very instrumental in the Sharks' attack this year, and just the way they play, I think, and the way they attack and all that. And yeah, Shaun Johnson's been very good for the Sharks, and yes, and he's developed this nice combination with Brendan Nakora on that kind of right hand side. Nakora and Johnson have that nice combination, actually. So, yeah, so Yeah, Johnson's clearly the best player the Sharks for mine. He's just a star player overall. Very safe. It's unfortunate he did his Achilles injury against the Roosters around the second last round of the season. It's unfortunate that happened, but what can you do, you know? It's unfortunate because everyone gets injuries, but yeah, he's a great player, Johnson. He's been fantastic in 2020. And now my worst player. My worst player goes to Andrew Fifita. Now, it was between Andrew Fifita and Chad Townsend for mine because they've both been pretty disappointing. And they're both really experienced players who do all right in their day. But I thought that Andrew Fifita for me was a bit disappointing. I thought because for a guy that played for Australia, New South Wales, and Tonga, he's just really failed this year in my opinion. Fifita, and it just looks like he doesn't look bothered to play. Like he has a bit of an attitude problem, I reckon, for Fifita. Like there's some games he'll turn up and be the one of the best props out there, I guess you can put it that way. But then there's other games where he just kind of there's just other games where he just doesn't want to turn up and like I'll put it this way, like I remember a game where the Sharks played the Titans in the Gold Coast and Andrew Fifita scored a try against the Titans and then as soon as he scored a try, he looked very puffed out. He was like on the the gate of the stadium, like putting his hands back and all that, and that's fine. But it just shows you that he's pretty much overweight for Fifita. He's just and plus like when the kickoff happened, he was still there. Like he wasn't there for long, but when the Titans kicked the ball back to the Sharks after Fifita scored a try for the Sharks, like Fifita was just there, still there, not running up the team when the kickoff happened. He was just still back in the stadium, like laying back like that on the gate, just trying to get his breath back and all that. And he's only there for a few seconds, but still, just shows he's a bit overweight and got some sort of attitude problem as well. Which is pretty clear that we mostly know of. And he's been a little bit disappointing this year for Fifita, but it isn't just him though. It's a bit of Townsend as well. I think he's been a little bit of a kind of shock for me because I like Townsend, but he has been a little bit down this year in 2020. But it happens to most players, I guess. And then my surprise packer of the year award. And I'm gonna give this. And this is a no brainer. This award is a no brainer, and my surprise packet player of the year award goes to Sosiva Talakai by far. I reckon. I don't think he's in any competition. I mean, maybe you can say Royce Hunt. He was all right when he was playing, but no. So Sosiva Talakai gets it by far for mine as the most surprise packet player of the year award because I expected him to do nothing in 2020. I thought that. Well, obviously, when the New South Wales Cup got called off because of COVID, I reckon he would have been stuck there. But he's over the time when he's been playing for Sharks, he's really proven himself. Like he's really established himself as a player. Like I was saying before, he's done really well this year. Talakai and like when Wade Graham has been out, he's really stood up and. Yeah, he's really stood up in the back row with Brendan Decora at times during the year, and he's just done really well. He reminds me of another Conrad Harrell sort of. Actually, Talakai is that similar build up to what Conrad Harrell is, and and he's a real weapon at Talakai. He can actually represent New Zealand and Samoa, but I think that I heard something that he might want to play for Samoa. Might want to play for New Zealand. So good for him if he does because. He deserves it. He's been good. He's been great all year. Been very consistent as well. Pretty much, he's a really strong player. Like he's a kind of a beast actually. He's he does thread the line quite a bit, and he's a good, very very solid player, Talakai. And I'll tell you a story. Like back in 2015, he was at the Rabbitohs, and at the Rabbitohs, he was just a reserve grade player. Played no first grade that year, I'm pretty sure. He was just playing reserve grade. No one knew him. He was just doing his job. In 2016. I think he got a few games, like maybe 4 or 5 games, the Rabbitohs that year, and playing mostly reserve grade, was just nothing more than a backup player, pretty much. 2017, I think he made the move to the Panthers, he was still I think he was still at the Rabbitohs then. Again, playing reserve grade, no first grade in 2018. Then also in 2017, no first grade in 2017, just like 2015. We got a few games in 2016, but then 2018 went to the Panthers. I know about that. I remember it. And And yeah, yet again, he was playing reserve grade, just being another backup player. But then 2019, yep, at Panthers again, I think. I know 2019, yeah, he went to the Sharks in 2019. He only had a year at the Panthers and played reserve grade, nothing more. They won the New South Wales Cup Premiership with the Newtown Jets, and that's where he really impressed. And then 2020, gets plenty of games in 2020. It's really good redemption story actually for a player, because I think he nearly quitted rugby league because he got no opportunity at all. And it's good to see someone like him finally gets the goes in first grade he deserves. Sosifa Talakai, so that's really good to see. So yeah, well done Sosifa if you're watching this video by any chance. But yeah, look, that's the end of the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks 2020 NRL season review. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and share to your friends. And I'll see you tomorrow for my Gold Coast Titans season review. So guys, see you then.